Candlelight vigils took place across the country Sunday night as people gathered to show their support for the victims in Orlando, Florida.
It was a similar scene in Sacramento's Lavender District, Stockton, and Davis. LGBT Center Board Member Donna Benz is now here with us to talk about how our communities are reacting to this. First of all, how did you learn of the news and what were your thoughts?
When I first learned the news, when I first woke up and my phone was exploding with Twitter, Twitter tweets, and it was basically the different community centers across the country getting prepared. What are we going to do to show solidarity and show support for the victims in Orlando? And so that's how I first heard about it. And of course, when I first started reading it, it was just a combination of horror and disbelief that this had actually happened in 2016. You feel that we've come so far on LGBT issues, and you just realize that some of these laws, these new laws that we have passed, have not soaked into the hearts and minds of people yet.
No, they have not. And there was something that we talked about just a few moments ago, coming back from commercial break, that I heard an individual say on our air yesterday when they were talking about how they feel about this and going out. And the individual said that being a member of the LGBT community, you leave the house every day worried that something is going to happen to you? Is that really how you feel?
Is that still happening in 2016?
I have to say, actually, that is, although I live in Midtown, it's a very welcoming community, but it is a thought that I would have to say every day does cross my mind. Is this the day that I'm going to have a racial epithet, or an epithet yelled at me on the street corner? Is this the day that somebody's just going to walk up and attack me for the person I am? Or is this the day that you never consider it to be this extreme? But this is something that is in the back of minds of LGBT people every day. If I don't hide who I am and pretend to blend in, that this is something, or if I come to the defense for allies, if I come to the defense of someone that is being bullied or attacked, that is this going to be me? Are they going to turn their attack on me? And so, yes, it is something that we live with every day.
Originally, they were saying, you know, they weren't quite sure the motivation, and then it came out that it was terrorist-related. But do you also consider it a hate crime and a target towards the community? Oh,
it's definitely a hate crime. Regardless of what the group was that he was targeting, to go in and plot to load a gun, go in and with the intent to pick a club, pick a site, and shoot that many people, you know, that's just premeditation. Just the hate and rage that was alive in this person when they did that. This is definitely a hate crime, and regardless of the community that it was committed against, we are hoping that it's prosecuted to the, well, you know, he is dead, but that
if anyone helped, or if there's any, any way we can track it back, if there's
any other helpers, that they are also prosecuted as a hate crime. But the fact that it was committed against the LGBT community, I think it's a huge wake-up call for our community, that when you hear about the Columbine shootings and Sandy Brook and other shootings, you know, there's definitely, your heart goes out to them, but until it actually happens,
like it probably
literally,
really
like Orlando. I know it's in Orlando, but it was still an Orlando gay bar. Until it happens in your backyard, it really doesn't wake you up to realize that this could happen anywhere. Yeah,
are you afraid yourself of possible copycats here in our capital city?
That is a possibility. Although it seems like shootings like this do kind of follow, that they are a rarity. Thank goodness. But it is something that I would not doubt is going to be on the minds of a lot of LGBT people as they go out. Where is the nearest exit? And making sure that they know where that exit is. Something does happen, they know how to get out quickly.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning, Donald Benz. We appreciate that from the LGBT Center here in Sacramento. And we continue to mourn with you.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, too.
Yes, thank you so much for your perspective. Really appreciate it.
7:19 here on this Monday morning. Let's go check in with Court, get a look at your roadways. Hey, Courtney.